Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on this episode, we are going to be continuing where we left off. Now, you can see my bot is still here, and it's still pretty good charged up. I mean, I sat here for about 20 minutes charging this thing up. The big batteries just make that impossible. It was pretty much impossible before, but now the bigger batteries definitely they just hold so much more charge. And something I picked up, but I didn't even notice it at the time, is these experimental large hover plates. That's going to come in handy here, I'm sure, at some point when we finally do our bot that has, what is that out there in the distance? Do I want to know? It is, it's not a moon, it's a space station. Holy crap, man. Look at that, guys. That is massive. That is, oh, was it on its side? What in the world is this thing? I'm almost afraid. Is it just wheels? Okay, let's hold off on attacking. I gotta get a better look at this thing. No, 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 no. Those are Uzis, are they not? Uzis surrounded by plates of armor, which will definitely attack back here in a minute. Now, if I can destroy it, yeah. Holy crap. That's a nice little payday right there. That's a lot of weapons. I've never seen a bot like that. Those armor platings, they sound like a good idea, and at some point I'm sure they will be, but for now they are just absolutely horrible, to be honest. They just do not work. They don't really let your bot fire over them. They don't really take that much more damage, to be honest. I've sat there and shot them over and over and over again just to see what kind of damage they can take, and really, I don't see that big of a difference. So I don't think you should use those at all unless you absolutely have to. Now I'm going to put these things all along the row up here and maybe up there on the other row on top. These things will kind of follow the enemy and fire at them in almost any direction that they can see. Now, if you got pillars in the way and they're just not able to see through those things, or fire through them, I should say, they might be able to see where the enemy is, they just can't actually reach it, then they're not going to be as efficient. But if you put them on top where they're just unobstructed view to everything, they're going to be a really, really nice weapon for you. I don't know if they spin 360 degrees around. I don't think they do, but they spin a really a pretty good distance. I would say probably about 160, if not more, in the direction that you face it. So if you have one in the front and then another row behind it facing in the opposite direction, that's going to make a big difference. It should be able to hit everything, as I said, without things being in the way. And there's a lot of these little tiny wheels. I don't really use those for a lot, but I'm thinking now, because my bot keeps getting stuck on things, I might actually raise my bot up here in a second into build mode and put a whole bunch of those down underneath my bot. And that way, if it gets stuck again, at least it has a few wheels to kind of push it off itself from whatever that little bubble is, the little hill that it gets stuck on. And of course, it's a different hill every single time, but it's always just one little tiny spot that ties up, pretty much my bot for the duration. Now, I normally would put down my battery, or not my batteries, my solar chargers, so that it would, start charging up, especially if I'm going to be here for a while. But, it's dark because I've been sitting there all during the daytime actually charging up my battery. So, yeah, that's not really going to be a thing. Let's see. Can we enter build mode? There we go. Okay, so we're in build mode now. It knocked some stuff off, but thankfully nothing that I was trying to keep. Now, see, it gets stuck here in the front. So let's put a few wheels back just a tiny bit. Again, you don't really need them right here in the front. That's just going to add more things for the enemy to kind of fire at. And you do kind of want to move them around, again, because it's usually like the weird spots that just don't have any traction that get stuck. So the more I can move them around, the better off I'm going to be. Ideally, I guess, if you really, really wanted to go above and beyond, you could, cover the entire bottom of this with those wheels, and then you wouldn't have any pieces on your bot that should get stuck on anything. Like, it shouldn't happen. But I don't know. I've never done that. I don't know what kind of lag that might cause in the long run, having that many wheels on the bottom, and if the enemies will constantly destroy them. it seems like it would be a good way to stop the enemy from being able to slide underneath your bot anyways. Because at a certain point, your bot is just so big that the enemy finds a way to, especially the small ones, to kind of ride underneath you. And they usually do it at the worst possible time. Like they're about to explode. And that's when they decide to jump underneath you. Now, if you got shields on, for the most part, you should be fine. But occasionally, it will happen at just the wrong time. It might hit some of your batteries and cause a chain reaction. So yeah, you got to be a little careful about that. Not too much, but now that I have these giant batteries on the bottom of my bot, I could definitely see maybe one getting in here and just detonating itself, doing it like a kamikaze kind of run, and just decimating my guy. So it is something I want to be aware of, something this would actually stop, because these things are fairly low to the ground. I don't think they're actually going to be touching for the most part, but they definitely will add traction when they do get stuck. And of course, like I said, because they are so low to the ground, it should stop enemies from getting in there, but there's no guarantee on that. I've never tried doing it, and because I don't have a full bottom full of it, if the enemy is good enough, and they usually are, they might find a way in and kind of do like a zigzag underneath my bot, you know, zigging and zagging out of the wheels that are in place, and getting through all the way to the backside of it. I don't know. That seems very unlikely. It seems like if that was the case, they're probably cheating a little bit, but you know, it's a computer, and computers usually cheat. Anybody who ever played Mario Karts back in the day on like the Super Nintendo or N64 know that computers cheat. You hit them with the red shell, and like 4 seconds later, they're behind you. Whereas if they hit you with the red shell and you get knocked back for even a small portion of the race, you're just out. Like there is no way you were ever catching up again, because they were just that good. You know, you're playing it on super hard. You know, like the last cup race, and there's just not a lot you can do about that. But you know, you get used to it. You get used to the computer kind of cheating, and that's one way the programmers, or programmers in general, have always kind of made up for the lack of AI. If you have a really good AI, they would be able to catch up just like you do. But creating an AI or a VI, virtual intelligence of some sort, that's difficult, guys. I mean, I remember playing games like Warcraft back in the day, and if you guys go back and watch that playthrough of mine, they are pretty simple. You know, they get stuck on corners all the time. See right there, I'm actually using those wheels to kind of get out of these little bumps. That is definitely helping me out. I kind of wish I put some over here on this side, but you know, not too bad. Holy crap, look at those weapons. A little bit lopsided, a little bit more on the left side than the right side. And I do notice that when I hit the back button, it didn't take very long for it to start moving, but when I told it to stop, it took a little bit. So these things, they're not as responsive. And you can see the lag is real, guys. The lag has gotten so much worse since we've made our bot bigger. It's kind of one of the reasons I've held off on creating a big bot, but you guys have asked for it, so I wanted to show it to you. It may not get much bigger than this. We'll probably be heading back to town here pretty soon, so that we can continue working on our airplane, because that is something I want to do here fairly soon. I wanted to finish that off. We haven't really got the pieces we needed, but we did find some good pieces. It definitely was a good run. Oh man, this lag is ridiculous. Come on, destroy this guy. Oh, move. He's getting healed by us. We can't let that happen. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that guy there. He doesn't actually have anything we need. I think he's going to eventually leave us alone. If not, my bots, you know, my weapons in the back will eventually destroy him. But you can see my shields are kind of going down. I mean, I'm down to my last little sliver of energy now. Even with that said, I got a lot of power left because of those battery sizes. Come on, this guy's still not dead. He's still getting hit every once in a while. Just 1 or 2 hits here and there. There he goes. Maybe a little bit more. Ah, he got back into that shield. Oh, jeez, look at this lag, guys. I wish I could stop firing, and that would clear it up. You can see right there. Yeah, see the lag just kind of disappears when I stop firing. But then he gets right in there, and there is no way I am going to be able to turn around on this guy. My guy is just too slow for that. Oh, jeez. Really? Really, an invader? Well, worse things could happen. We could die, but hopefully that won't be the case. In fact, what I'll do is I'll back up a little bit, and I'm going to put my solar reactors down again, the solar generators, and see if we can charge up a little bit without the enemy actually coming at us. We may be too close. I hope we're not. But if that's the case, we'll have to deal with it when it happens. But I need to get these things down as soon as possible so I can start charging. Jeez, dude. Really? And you can see my bot is actually moving around right now. Mainly from the fact, oh, that's not what I wanted to take off. When you get lag, this is what happens. Yeah, I'm a little too close. Oh, jeez. This is a nightmare. This is a night, and he's right underneath me, just like I said they would do. Just like I said they would do. Those guys, warning, you anchored blocks are under attack. He's actually attacking my solar reactors right now. Jeez, guy. Dude, die already. You're a little pumpkin little dude, man. I could kill you so easy if I could just move. But I can't move. I'm lagging out like beyond belief. And then there's an invader on the map. And to make matters worse is I'm an idiot and I put my solar reactors down when I didn't need to do that. I'm actually taking hits here. Did I lose something? Did something get destroyed? Oh, it must have been the enemy. I finally killed that guy. Really? The moment I picked that thing up, I finally kill him? Okay, well, I'll take it. I'll take it for now. But, yeah, you can see how the lag instantly stopped. I am not getting any more of those issues. I need to put this down because I am so close. You can actually see it. It's flashing right now of wearing away. I do kind of not really like this sound. It's a cool sound when you first start doing it, but then when you sit here for about half an hour waiting for your power to go back up, it gets a little annoying that does that so loud. So I'm kind of hoping at some point they give you the option of turning that off, or at least turning it down a little bit, because it's cool. But when I go back to my base now, because I have so many of those things running all the time, that is so deafening, and it's all I can hear when I'm over there because there's just so many of them. And I need to, let's see, I can move this one maybe up here. Go ahead and charge up everything that's here. Let me move it over to a couple, and I'll just have it charge up and then move it down the row and then keep doing that. Maybe in the future I'll be able to have a few extras of these. I have been picking up the ones that I've seen lately because I've had, more stuff added to my bot, and so therefore I don't have everything I need. For a long period of time, I was just leaving these things where they lay because I didn't need them. They just take up more power when you have them, and if you're not using them at the moment, really you don't want to hold on to them. Again, they use more power, and when you're having a situation like I am where power is an issue, every little bit that you can save really helps out. Actually, it looked like one of these cannons were actually taking some damage there. I'm not sure from what, but this next bot definitely will do, a fair bit of damage to me, especially up here. In fact, I may just move that up here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just that. I'll move that up there. I'll leave the shield generator down here. That way, these pieces are still protected in some way. They just won't be able to repair themselves. But I'm fine with that. This area doesn't really get damaged too much. This is the area right here in the back that I'm talking about, where all my conveyor belts are. That's where I took the battery from. That guy out there in the distance, though, look at him, guys. And that is pretty gnarly looking. He does have some of the big boy cannons, these GSO megaton cannons. So that's going to be a nice haul. I'll be able to add more of those to my bot, and that's going to be pretty cool. Now, for my bot design, I'm thinking of just using like a crab as my inspiration. If I can go off into the corners right there, as you can see these little pillars right here, these girders. I'm going to have them go off up and to the right, create some kind of like snapping claw look to it on both sides. It's almost like SpongeBob SquarePants, with the lobster on there. If any of you guys have kids or, nieces and nephews, you'll be very familiar with that cartoon. I kind of go with that look maybe, because it already is yellow, it already kind of matches the SpongeBob. In fact, I guess I could technically create a giant SpongeBob. That I don't know if I want to do that, but if you guys are interested in it, I probably shouldn't have mentioned it, because now somebody's going to want me to do that. But yeah, we could definitely try it. It would be cool to maybe make the pants out of the GSO blocks, and that way it would have a different color to it, and then make the the actual sponge out of these blocks. I don't know how you would do his arms, because his arms are real thin, but they need to be yellow as well. So maybe his body would have to be so massive that the blocks that come off of the sides look so small from far away. I don't know if maybe that might be a thing. Once I get it up to 2 blocks right here, that's when we're going to go to attack. I think that should be enough as long as I'm not actually taking hits. I think it won't go down anymore once we get to that point. But you can see it takes a little while for it to go up a little bit. And that wall that I have, that some of you were saying, well, that's overkill. You don't ever need to use that to charge up your batteries. That wall, even with just the regular batteries that I had, took forever. So yeah, that wall is not even close to what I need. And once I throw these batteries on that wall, and I'll be able to buy them. In fact, while I'm doing this, I might as well put the payload terminal down, and we'll just go ahead and go into it and see what those blocks cost. Now, I do believe they're experimental. Where would experimental be? I guess they'd be under GSO, because those are a GSO block, and they're just going to be further down probably. So let's scroll down. I still need the receiver, haven't found that. I still need a few wing parts, I haven't found any of those yet. So we still have quite a few blocks that are out there that we need. Let's see, we're getting close to the bottom of the list. We're going to start seeing some things that we do not have access to coming up here. Let's see, where are you? There we go, the GSO receiver. Don't have access to that one, unfortunately. Really wish I did. Let's see, what else do we not have access to? GSO 4 block, I just haven't found any of those yet. GSO Latza Silo 9 small stack, just haven't found those either. GSO grade 4 fabricated, I didn't even know there was a grade 4, but we haven't seen that one yet. GSO step conveyor, a lot of you guys have mentioned that one. That was going to be very useful for me. Unfortunately, we haven't found that one either. Let's see, GSO turbine propeller, I need those. Those are definitely something I need for my flying vehicle. Haven't found those yet. The GSO big pop-up fuel tanks, I don't necessarily need those, but those would be really cool to kind of play around with. Wow, these mega boosters are 1120. That's actually... And GSO foundry. A foundry allows for the creation of alloys by fusing 2 refined resources together. Oh, okay, I've seen that before. GSO 5 blocks, haven't found any of those. GSO grade 5 fabricated, really? Yeah, I didn't even know they went that high again. GSO Maxi Silo 1 large stack. Okay, so we don't have any of those. Where was the bigger megaton cannon? 560. I could use some of that. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more of a lot of this stuff. I didn't see some of the stuff we had though. So maybe it's not under here. Such as the batteries. I didn't see those on here. So let's see. Maybe they're under Geocore? I don't think they would because they're gray, but maybe. I need to get the cab. Those are, unfortunately, the cab guys are things you have to find. GSO boss cab. You have to find on those floating pedestals. You can't find them off of enemies because you actually have to kill the enemy to get the blocks. And of course, if the cab is still alive, the enemy is not dead. So, yeah, watch out for that one. Let's see. Venture. I don't see anything that says experimental, so I'm guessing the experimental blocks are on an entirely different set of tabs that just aren't showing up here. Special, maybe? No? Jack's Septic Eye. The eye from the planet of Bostron. It looks like around... Oh, my God. That is... Why would you use that other than to maybe create a weird-looking bot? I guess if we do SpongeBob, maybe we could use that one. Maybe. It's only 1 big buck. Red horns, a pumpkin head. What do you get? Okay, well, ice cream sundae. Sundae actually named after the YouTuber. That's pretty cool. Birthday cake hat and the white jolly beard, red jolly hat, jolly, kind of mean jolly beard, and some of these, I think one of them, somebody was saying one of these hats actually gives you the radar of the enemy when you wear it, which is kind of cool. If you guys remember which one that is, if it still does it, let me know. The only one I don't have is the witch's hat, but apparently I can order it and then pick it up, so that's something there. And what about this one? I don't have access to that one either, so I'll order that and then pick it up. It may not fall down because it's pretty close to my bot. Yeah, I didn't think it fell down at all. But definitely something we could put on and play around with at some point. And it's still charging up there, guys. You can actually see it's going into its third bubble. So let's go ahead and put this down without any further ado. Pick up our pieces and go over there and see if we can wreck that bot and get some of those pieces of armor. Again, I do apologize if it goes kind of slow, but when you get this far away from your base, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. You know, like, you have to charge up, especially before you take on somebody this massive. And as you can see in the back, another bot has spawned. So yeah, yes, stay away from that. Jeez, look at that lag already. All I gotta do is stop firing, and the lag goes away. Oh, he's firing at me. Maybe. Oh yeah, I'm not staying here. That's a death sentence. It looks like he's stuck. So maybe if we sneak around the side of him, what side should we go down? I think side over here where there's more hills will be better for us. That way, if he does kind of come up at us, a lot of the fire may go over our heads. Oh, and his shields are gone. Perfect timing. So he's been sitting there long enough that just having his shields up caused his batteries to drain. And that could be a technique that you guys use against these guys, is just outweigh them. Yeah, outweight them. You know, just put down your solar reactors, charge up your batteries, and let his go down over time. And that way, when you finally do attack, he just doesn't stand a chance. Holy crap. I didn't even have to fire. Like, he was already doing it and causing all of this lag. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, this is going to be the last time I do a bot this big for some time until they fix that and make it where you can have even bigger bots. Because they already have done it. Like I've said, they've done it many, many times. And every time they do it, it gets, you know, where you can have more and more and more blocks. And I'm happy with the progression that it's making. They are making huge improvements every single time. Some of you guys have said that you're kind of tired, that the game's not done yet. It kind of gets into that whole conversation of how long do you think as a U bracket, I don't think I've picked up a U bracket. Oh, this just got destroyed though. How long do you think a game company should be allowed to take when they're doing these games in development? And, you know, it really comes down to personal taste, because some games take 5 years, some games take a lot longer, some games take a lot less. And depending on what you're willing to put into it and how long you're willing to wait may dramatically alter and change whether you're willing to pay for a game that other people really, really like, you know. And so I think you just have to make that decision for yourself. And if they can make it a little bit easier by letting you know, Venture Straight bracket, I think I've already gotten that one before. At least I hope I have. If not, I'll go back and pick it up in a second. Now I'm just charging it because it seems like it's lagging so much that I can't do anything. I can't move. I can't turn. It's literally only firing 1 or 2 shots at any given time. It's already, like, I'm trying to back up right now and I can't because it's literally frozen like this. And this is just ridiculous. Like, I almost want to get this fight over with so it can go back to being nice and smooth. And I can look at just all the stuff that's on this guy and move on. This guy has a lot of stuff, but nothing from what I've seen so far that I don't already have access to. Oh, there he goes. Stop firing. Holy crap. Yes, I did. I defeated Shredder, guys. Okay, is there another bot there? There is another bot there. Let me pick up the batteries so you don't destroy those. Let me see. What else can I pick up? What is this? Yeah, we'll pick that up. There you go. You're blown up too. Oh, now that I have the batteries, I'm finding a lot more. Why does it always work that way, right? It's not until you don't need them anymore that you start finding just tons of them. But the moment you really could use them, it just doesn't want to give them to you. I don't know. It like I said, it has a sense of humor, guys. Like, it knows what you have access to and what you do not, and it kind of teases you a little bit. Now, somebody said to make sure that these weapons can fire over those things. It looks like they can. It looks like these giant towers are able to fire at too high, so that you don't necessarily have to put blocks down underneath them. And that's kind of a cool little feature to have. It definitely saves you time and effort in, you know, just building structures just for the sake of having that ability, you know, like having that height already attached to it. Now, what I think I'm going to do is move these things underneath, because now they can attach to these towers. because the towers are in the right placement for it. Let's see, I need to move... I need to move a couple of these over right there so it has a place to be pushed back. If you don't put anything in front, it doesn't really want to put itself right here behind it. You know, like ideally it wants to be lined up directly with the block and not overhanging. But if you definitely want that ability, yeah, you're gonna have to put something up there, even if it's just temporary. You know, put something there, put the the whatever down, and then remove it after the fact, and that should work just fine for you. It's already getting dark, so I don't have to worry about putting my solar reactors down. Let's see, what is this? Shields. Okay, I do need a couple of shields over here. Let's put that right there, because on this last hit, this last attack, a lot of the stuff that I didn't really want getting hit, I was actually taking some damage. Another shield, definitely want that there in the back. Let's zoom in a little bit. I guess that's good. I could move it over one more. Let's see what that looks like. I think I like that a little bit better, and I can always move things over in the center if I have to. Let's see. More of these things. Dang, and remember, the more of these things you have, the more kickback you're going to get when you fire your weapon. And, you know, it's a real thing, guys. It does play a role in, you know, how you can play. Let's see. Let's move this over here. Actually, I'm going to have to move all these over, aren't I? Yeah, because right there in the center, it only has one. I guess I didn't have to, but if I want to be able to make the best placement out of all the things that I have, then definitely something just to move over a little bit. Let's see, and I'll move one more of these over here. Just, no, that's... I think I got put in the right place, right? Yeah. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's see, what is this? Repair bubble. Okay, I'll leave that there for now to charge up, or repair, I should say. Jeez, how many of these cannons did it have? Let's put them over here so we can get a nice little count of how many there are. Some more bubbles, repair bubbles, shield bubbles. Let's see. More Uzis. Yeah, we're definitely going to go with the Uzis. Be careful when moving stuff around. It's very, very easy to toss stuff without realizing it, and you'll be like throwing it like literally hundreds of miles away. Another cool thing about picking stuff up and moving it around is now you have access to it if you didn't before. So this is always a good thing to do in a pile. Just kind of toss stuff around. And, you know, you just never know if it's something you just didn't have. And I think I didn't have this one. What is this? U-bracket. Yeah, I definitely didn't have the U-bracket. Sounds weird. Sounds kind of cool, though. Sounds like something we could definitely use on something somewhere around the road. Let's see. More bubbles. I needed just a few more of those. So we'll put that over there. Anything else? Yeah. Holy crap. Jeez, this one I thought I was almost done picking up stuff I wanted. There's a whole bunch more cannons. And how can you pass these things up? They're not exactly the most expensive, but they do just insane amount of damage. And they look cool. Yeah, like that's... If I saw a whole bunch of these on a bot, I'd be going in the other direction. You know, that's not something I want to mess with if I don't have to, especially if I'm not fully charged. Just kind of like what I did a little while ago where I basically saw these things there, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that. Let me sit over here and get ready for it. If I was, you know, on the run and there was, you know, he was able to chase me, the moment I saw somebody like that, geez, yeah, I'd be heading in the other direction, hoping that he never catches up with me and he may get tired of following before he, you know, ever gets a close, you know, to me to just decimate me. Let's see, this is gonna go up here. Where am I gonna put the rest of those weapons? I kind of want to put them over here, but then I'd have to cover up my tracks. I do kind of want to push all that backwards, but I'm not going to do that right now. Everything seems like it's covered except for the back of my bot with shields. Let's see, is this a shield? It is. Okay, so that's perfect right where it's at. What about this one? Another shield. Where do I want to put that? I guess let's put that over here. That way that is covered by shields as well. I do need one shield right here in the center to cover those. I don't think I have any left. Yeah, it's a repair bubble. Actually, you're not getting repaired, so I'll leave you there. We don't have to worry about that in the future. Yeah, these are all just repair bubbles. Yeah, unfortunately. So let's put these things down, and this will allow me to put some of my big, weapons here in the back as well. Ah, there's one more right there. Dang. This is a nice little honey hole right here, guys, fighting that creature. Now, I did have to travel out here for a long, long period of time before one finally spawned on me, so that is something to be aware of. They have kind of lowered that spawn rate down quite a bit, but not too much. It's just it's kind of at a nice level, to be honest. You don't find it so often that it's a distraction, but you find it enough that if you really, really wanted it, you can go off looking for it. There we go. Those wheels that I put on the bottom are a definite boon to me. I need to put this down. And in between this video, guys, I think what I'm going to do is finish picking up all of these weapons. I'm going to charge up so we're ready to return, and then we're going to start heading back to town. And hopefully we'll find one or two more objects that we need on the way there. But, if we can just make it back, I want to do at least one or two more episodes tonight, if I can. And I want one of them to be about the airplane. So that's definitely something I want to work on. We are going to finish that for sure. That's just basically I wanted to take a break from it because we've been doing it for so much, and we really, really need those items to finish it off. So I'm kind of hoping I find them on the way back. But if not, I'll do it off camera where I just kind of roam out here and see if maybe I can find a few pieces. Maybe start up the camera, when I do find a bot that has stuff that I haven't seen before. Although it's not always easy to tell. It's kind of hard to tell if he has something that you need or not. It could just be hidden underneath, and I hate when you guys miss that stuff. So I don't know, leave those comments down below if you like these journeys where we just run off and see what we can get into. I may just do more of those. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time.